This is your abbreviated vocal warm-up. So to start out, you'll want to warm up your body somehow. I suggest a ragdoll, which is the head towards the floor, like so, or the twist. So when you twist or when you ragdoll, make sure that you do a very big inhale and exhale. That moves the spine a little bit. Inhale and exhale. So you see my spine arches and then curves around. So make sure you do that. Next, you want to work on inhaling slowly. So I suggest starting with a vowel like an oo and then breathing in for a count of 8. Ooh, and breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. And then try it on ah. Ah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. And maybe pause and do each of those again. Your objective is to make the breath in on oo and the breath in on ah the same rate, so you're not breathing in faster just because your mouth is more open. Then we're going to go right to vocalizing. This is your hum. So, nice and low in the range on or you can choose whichever octave is more comfortable for you. Ready? And continue with a hum if that's what you like, or you can switch to a voice consonant of v, z, th, or j, or you can do a lip trill. Brrr. I'm going to do v for these. We're going to start here. Now start on the bottom note and do the same exercise like this. Note the stability in the back here so that you're making the space and then breathing nice and slow to create the sound that you want. Our next step is going to be to move from those semi-occluded vocal tract sounds to a vowel. So I'm going to use a hum for this, but you're welcome to use a lip trill or a voiced consonant. This is very simply on a comfortable pitch in your range. We're going to start on a G, whichever octave you're comfortable with. You're going to be on the lower one, and you're going to go from to ah and go very, very gradually like this. You can check for stability with your hands like so, just seeing that everything stays in the same spot. Ready? And if things are moving around on you, don't get too frustrated with it. Your objective is to lessen and laten things, so make them later. A lot of times if things are going weird here, go with your breath. Try to keep expanding. So deepen that and then open to ah. And try it on a lower pitch. And try it on a higher pitch. The next thing we want to do is find the E position, so we're going to start where we left off and add an E to the end of that exercise. You can work to keep your mouth in the same position. We'll try a lower note, and I'll show you a crutch, covering half your mouth. either go the higher one or the lower one. I'll do the lower one, just whichever you prefer. Now taking that E you're going to do on this exercise, make sure you establish it from the ah position. If you're having trouble with it closing and pinching, then I would suggest and you can of course employ that crutch. Ready? And good. Now we're going to shape oo. Ready? And one more time, one hand on the jaw maybe to make sure you're not going ah ooh and closing it. Ready? And and now we're going to go on an ooh arpeggio down. Ooh. Ready? And if you're having trouble on the top note, then I suggest starting from the bottom note and connecting them seamlessly like they're one note. If you're not, feel free to continue starting on the top note. Ready? And great job. And now, in case you want to separate the registers, we are going to go on this exercise. Ah, ooh, ah, loud, soft, loud. Ready? And ah, ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Let's take it down and really ugly up that bottom sound. Try to keep the jaw consistent. Ready? And ah, ooh, ah. Now go for a real high one. Ready? And ah, ooh, ah. And then we're going to try for some range. Ya. Make sure with the ya that you're not going ya and using your jaw, but making the E vowel like the ah shape in front and using only your tongue. Ya, 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 So if you manage to get to the top of that, you're probably warmed up. But one way to really check that everything is working is a nice siren from ooh to ah and ending on a vocal fry at the bottom. So form that ooh and breathe, and you're going to do this. Ooh, ah. Go ahead and try it. Ooh, ah. And then go the other way. Make sure you spend some time in the speech sound, sounding like this. And one more. And that is your 10-minute vocal warm-up.